The ocean, a vast and ancient cradle, holds within its depths tales as old as time itself. Tonight, we journey to the edge of the known world, where the sea whispers secrets and the very air thrums with a deadly allure. Imagine the scene, the relentless crash of waves against jagged shores, a symphony of power and untamed nature. Listen to the mournful sigh of the wind, a lonely lament that seems to carry the sorrows of countless lost souls. And then, the unsettling shimmer of moonlight, fractured and dancing upon the restless surface of the water, hinting at a beauty that conceals an abyss. From these primal elements, from the very essence of the sea's untamed power, the sirens emerge. They are not merely women, though their forms may mimic ours. They are closer to elemental forces, embodiments of the ocean's irresistible yet destructive pull. Their beauty is not the gentle allure of a summer bloom, but an ethereal, almost painful exquisiteness, a perfection that nature rarely bestows, and when it does, it is often with a hidden, sharp edge. It is a beauty that sears itself onto the viewer's mind, a vision that transcends the ordinary and hints at something profound, something forbidden. But it is their voices that truly ensnare. These are not songs of comfort or joy, but an intoxicating melody that promises ecstasy and oblivion in equal measure. Their vocalizations bypass the intellect, bypassing reason, bypassing the conscious mind entirely. They reach directly into the deepest, most primal desires that slumber within the human heart. Imagine a sound that is both achingly familiar and utterly alien, a harmony that resonates with every unspoken longing, every suppressed yearning. It is a sound that conjures images of paradise, of ultimate fulfillment, of a peace so perfect it feels like death itself. The sensory experience is overwhelming, a tidal wave of sensation that drowns all other concerns. It is the sharp tang of salt, carried on the wind, mingled with a chilling sweetness, a scent that is both intoxicating and subtly poisonous. The air itself seems to thicken, becoming heavy with an invisible, potent magic. Sailors, their ears catching the first faint strains of this celestial, yet infernal, music, find their thoughts becoming hazy, their resolve crumbling like sandcastles before an incoming tide. Their eyes, previously fixed on the horizon, now drift towards the source of the sound, their gaze becoming vacant, their bodies moving with an unnatural, unthinking compulsion. Picture them, these doomed mariners, their ship sailing under a sky that offers no solace. They are drawn irresistibly, inexorably towards the rocky outcrops, towards the hidden coves where the sirens make their home. Their hands, once skilled at the helm, now hang limp, their minds lost in the rapturous embrace of the song. They are not struggling. They have no will left to struggle. They are mesmerized, their senses utterly captivated, their bodies mere vessels propelled towards their watery graves. The very air vibrates with the power of the song, a lullaby of death that promises an end to all earthly troubles, a final, sweet release. The lore surrounding these beings is ancient, woven into the very fabric of maritime history. From the epic voyages of Odysseus, where the cunning hero narrowly escaped their deadly serenade, to the whispered tales of fishermen who claim to have heard their haunting calls on moonless nights, the Sirens have remained a potent symbol of temptation and destruction. They are the embodiment of the sea's duality, its life-giving bounty and its capacity for utter annihilation. Their song is a testament to the enduring power of the unknown, the allure of what lies beyond our understanding, and the tragic consequences of succumbing to its siren call. The very act of hearing them, even if one survives, leaves an indelible mark, a lingering echo of that perfect, terrible beauty. The siren's song, a melody of irresistible allure, has echoed through the annals of human history, a potent symbol of temptation and destruction. But to truly understand this captivating myth, we must journey back to its very genesis, to the ancient shores of Greece, where the first whispers of these deadly enchantresses began to take shape. Our exploration commences with the foundational texts of Western literature, the bedrock upon which so much of our understanding of the ancient world is built. It is in Hesiod's monumental work, the Theogony, often considered the earliest coherent account of the origins of the gods and the cosmos, that we find some of the earliest mentions of beings that would evolve into the Sirens. Hesiod, writing around the 8th century BCE, describes them as daughters of the river god Achelous, and often one of the Muses, specifically Melpomene, the muse of tragedy. This lineage itself hints at the somber fate they would come to represent. While Hesiod's description is sparse, focusing more on their parentage and their role as guardians of certain divine secrets, it plants the seed of their existence in the collective consciousness. However, it is through the epic voyages chronicled in Homer's Odyssey that the Sirens truly crystallize into the figures we recognize today. Here, they are presented not as abstract entities, but as a tangible, terrifying threat to the intrepid Odysseus and his crew. Homer's vivid portrayal, etched into the memory of Western civilization, paints a picture of islands inhabited by these alluring creatures whose song draws sailors to their doom. Odysseus, warned by the sorceress Circe of their potent charm, devises a cunning plan for survival. He orders his men to plug their ears with beeswax, while he himself, bound to the mast of his ship, is permitted to hear the song, a testament to his insatiable curiosity and his desire to glean their knowledge. The Siren song, as described by Homer, is not merely beautiful. It is a promise of profound wisdom, a lure of forgotten truths, and the secrets of the cosmos. They sing of all the suffering that the Achaeans endured in Troy, and all that happens on the fertile earth, offering knowledge that no mortal could resist. This promise, however, is a deadly deception, leading ships onto the jagged rocks of their island. where the bones of their past victims lie scattered like seaweed. The power of the Homeric sirens lies in their ability to exploit the deepest human desires, the longing for knowledge, the yearning for understanding, and the allure of the unknown. Their song is a siren call in the truest sense, a beckoning toward oblivion cloaked in the guise of enlightenment. But what were the roots of this potent myth? Scholars have long debated the potential real-world inspirations that might have fueled the ancient imagination, giving rise to these legendary figures. One compelling theory points to the treacherous maritime environment of the ancient Mediterranean. The coasts of Greece, dotted with innumerable islands and inlets, are notorious for their unpredictable currents and hidden reefs. These submerged dangers, invisible from the surface, could easily rip the hull out of a passing ship, sending it to the seabed with a violent shudder. The cries of drowning sailors, the splintering of wood, the churning of the waves, these terrifying sounds, carried on the wind, could easily have been interpreted as the mournful or alluring calls of supernatural beings. The vast, often tempestuous sea itself, a source of both sustenance and terror, was a fertile ground for myth-making. Another plausible explanation delves into the psychological landscape of long, arduous sea voyages. Sailors, confined to cramped quarters for months on end, battling storms, enduring hardship, and facing the constant threat of death, were susceptible to the effects of isolation, fatigue, and a profound longing for home. In such states, the mind can play tricks, conjuring illusions and hallucinations. The distant cries of seabirds, the sighing of the wind through rigging, or even the shimmering heat haze on the horizon could have been misinterpreted by weary minds as the beckoning songs of unseen entities. The psychological toll of such journeys, the constant tension between hope and despair, could have manifested in the creation of mythical beings that embodied the dangers and the allure of the sea. Furthermore, some scholars propose that the Siren's initial depiction may have been influenced by the calls of certain seabirds. Many species, particularly those that nest on rocky shores and cliffs, produce haunting, melodic cries that can carry for miles. The image of these birds, often seen circling ships or perched on rocky outcrops, could have gradually merged with the concept of seductive beings luring sailors to their doom. The evolution of the Sirens' appearance is a fascinating aspect of their mythology. In the earliest artistic representations, particularly on ancient Greek pottery dating from the Archaic period, the Sirens are depicted as bird-like maidens. They possess the bodies of birds, often with large, powerful wings and taloned feet, but with the heads and torsos of human women. This hybrid form emphasizes their otherworldly nature and their ability to traverse both the air and the sea. Over time, however, their iconography began to shift. As the myth became more widely known and as artistic conventions evolved, the Sirens gradually transitioned into the more familiar mermaid-like figures we associate with them today. creatures with the upper body of a woman and the lower body of a fish. This transformation reflects a broader trend in mythology where beings associated with the sea often took on piscine forms. Yet, even in their mermaid guise, the core essence of their deadly allure remained. Crucially, their association with death became firmly solidified through these narratives. Whether as bird women or mermaids, the Siren's song was unequivocally linked to shipwreck and the demise of sailors. They were not simply mischievous spirits, they were harbingers of oblivion. Their beautiful voices a direct conduit to the underworld. This potent association with mortality cemented their place in the pantheon of fearsome mythical creatures, a perpetual reminder of the seductive dangers that lurk beneath the surface of both the ocean and the human psyche. The Sirens. Their very name evokes a shiver, a haunting melody carried on the winds of myth. These creatures, half woman, half bird, in many ancient depictions, were not merely singers. They were architects of destiny, their voices the ultimate weapon in a perilous, forgotten world. At the heart of Siren lore lies a single, devastating power, their song. This was no mere folk ballad, no gentle lullaby. It was a meticulously crafted sonic enchantment, a siren call designed with a singular, chilling purpose to lure unsuspecting sailors to their watery graves. Imagine the scene, a long voyage, the vast, indifferent sea stretching to the horizon, the crew, weary but hopeful, their eyes scanning for land. Then, subtly at first, a sound begins to weave itself into the salty air. It's impossibly beautiful, a melody that speaks directly to the deepest desires of the human soul. It promises everything they yearn for: lost loves, forgotten joys, untold riches, a peace they have never known. This is the Siren's primary weapon, a potent elixir of sound that bypasses reason and strikes directly at the heart. The danger they posed was absolute. Their enchanting melodies would draw ships irresistibly towards treacherous, rocky shores, places where the sea itself seemed to conspire against mariners. The allure was so profound, so all-consuming, that sailors would steer their vessels directly onto the jagged rocks, shattering hulls and scattering the lives of those aboard. It was a fate worse than simple drowning. It was a surrender to an irresistible, fatal temptation. The wreckage of countless ships, the bleached bones of their crews, were testament to the Siren's deadly efficacy. For centuries, tales of these encounters circulated amongst mariners, whispered in hushed tones in smoky taverns. Survival was rare, and those who managed to escape often carried the lingering echo of that seductive song, a haunting reminder of what they had narrowly avoided. The most famous account, of course, comes from Homer's epic, the Odyssey. Odysseus, warned by the sorceress Circe of the Siren's peril, devised a cunning plan. He ordered his men to plug their ears with beeswax, rendering them deaf to the deadly music. Yet Odysseus himself, consumed by an insatiable curiosity, and perhaps a touch of hubris, wished to hear the song for himself, to understand its power. He instructed his loyal crew to bind him securely to the mast of their ship using strong ropes and chains. As they sailed past the island of the Sirens, the enchanting melodies began to fill the air. The crew, their ears protected, rowed on with unwavering focus, their faces grim and determined. But Odysseus, his senses assaulted by the overwhelming beauty and promise of the song, thrashed and pleaded to be released, desperate to break free and embrace the fatal allure. Only the strength of his crew and the knowledge that his freedom meant their doom kept him tethered to his fate. Other variations of siren lore paint a more complex picture, hinting at a deeper, more ancient connection to the darker aspects of the cosmos. Some traditions associate them not just with the sea, but with the underworld, their songs echoing the lamentations of the lost or serving as a mournful chorus for the souls traversing the Styx. In these interpretations, they were not simply predators, but guardians. Their voices a lament for the inevitable journey into darkness, a song that perhaps even the gods could not ignore. These myths, at their core, are profound moral and cautionary tales. The Sirens embody the seductive power of unchecked desire, the allure of false promises that can lead us astray from our true path. They warn us against being so captivated by superficial beauty or intoxicating whispers that we lose sight of the very real dangers that lie hidden beneath the surface. The siren song is a metaphor for the temptations that can derail our lives, the siren calls of addiction, of unattainable dreams, of the easy path that ultimately leads to destruction. Their legend serves as a timeless reminder that not all that glitters is gold, and that the most beautiful melodies can often mask the most dangerous intentions. The struggle against the sirens is, in essence, the struggle against our own internal vulnerabilities, the battle to maintain our integrity and our course in the face of overwhelming temptation. It is a testament to the human capacity for both immense longing and the resilience to resist the allure of oblivion. The echoes of their song, though ancient, continue to resonate, a powerful reminder to listen carefully to the world around us and to be wary of the promises that seem too good to be true, for they may well lead us to the very edge of the abyss. The siren's allure, though rooted in antiquity, has never truly faded. Its potent imagery has been a wellspring for countless artistic interpretations, each era casting the myth in its own light, adapting its ancient warnings to contemporary anxieties. From the chilling pronouncements of Homer, the sirens have journeyed through the ages, their song evolving, but their fundamental power to captivate and destroy remaining a constant theme. Consider, for instance, the ubiquitous and beloved Disney adaptation of The Little Mermaid. Here, the siren song, while still a source of enchantment, is divorced from its deadly intent, transformed into a melody of longing and aspiration. Ariel's voice is a tool of dreams, not a lure to oblivion. This reimagining speaks volumes about our modern sensibilities, our desire to find beauty and innocence even in the darkest of legends. It's a testament to the myth's adaptability, that it can be so thoroughly transformed while still retaining a recognizable echo of its original form. Beyond animation, the siren's voice has been a recurring motif in literature. Fantasy novels, in particular, have seized upon the concept of alluring but dangerous beings, often imbuing them with voices that weave irresistible spells. These modern retellings frequently explore themes of temptation, the seductive power of forbidden knowledge, and the potential for beauty to mask profound danger. The siren song becomes a metaphor for anything that promises pleasure or power, but ultimately leads to ruin. Even in contemporary music, the echoes of the siren's call can be heard. Artists across genres explore the intoxicating, sometimes destructive nature of fame, love, and desire, frequently employing metaphors that draw upon the siren's ancient power. The deadly song ceases to be literal, becoming a potent symbol for the irresistible forces that can draw us in, promising ecstasy but threatening to consume us entirely. It's a testament to the myth's enduring resonance, that it can be applied so broadly to the human experience of attraction and its inherent perils. This metaphorical extension of the siren song is not merely an artistic conceit. It reflects a deep-seated human understanding of how allure can operate, how things that promise great reward can also carry immense risk. The siren's curse, in this modern context, can be seen in the addictive nature of technology, the allure of unchecked ambition, or the siren call of deceptive ideologies that promise utopia but deliver despair. The myth provides a timeless framework for understanding these complex societal forces. Furthermore, the persistence of the siren myth invites us to consider if there are more tangible, albeit still mysterious, explanations for its enduring presence. Tales of mysterious voices heard from the sea, or of sailors lost to the waves after hearing strange melodies, have circulated for centuries and continue to surface in local folklore. These modern whispers often speak of phantom songs emanating from treacherous coastlines, adding a layer of contemporary mystique to the ancient legend. Several scientific and sociological theories attempt to contextualize the persistence of the siren myth. Auditory illusions, particularly in the challenging acoustic environment of the sea, could contribute to sailors hearing phantom sounds. The vastness of the ocean, with its unpredictable nature, has always been a breeding ground for superstition and the projection of human fears onto the unknown. Mass hysteria, a phenomenon where shared beliefs and emotions can lead to collective delusion, might also play a role in the perpetuation of such tales, especially in isolated communities or during times of stress. Perhaps, though, the most compelling explanation lies in our innate human fascination with the ocean's depths and the profound power of music. The sea, a vast and largely unexplored frontier, has always represented the unknown, the mysterious, and the potentially dangerous. The siren, with her captivating voice, embodies this duality, the promise of beauty and wonder intertwined with the threat of oblivion. Music, too, possesses an almost supernatural ability to stir emotions, to transport us, and to forge powerful connections. The siren's song is the ultimate expression of this potent combination, a reminder of the intoxicating and sometimes perilous power that lies in the intersection of sound, allure, and the untamed mysteries of our world. The sirens, in their many guises, continue to sing their ancient song, a melody that resonates through our collective consciousness, a timeless reminder of what draws us in and what can, in the end, destroy us.